Ahoy and welcome to Miss Narrowboat Adventure. Today I want to talk about essentials that you might not think about for a narrowboat. So things that have surprised me that I found really useful. One thing I can't show you is our solar panels, but that has been amazing. We basically haven't needed to run our engine for power since we've had them, apart from 1 or 2 weeks in the winter when it gets really dark. So solar panels are probably the best investment we have ever made for the boat. The other thing I can't show you is my Winlass Holster. I don't know where it is, but I'm gonna buy a new one if I can't find it because I love it. It just sits on my belt and my windlass can go in there, and it makes all the difference, especially in the winter when you have to carry a cold windlass around with you and your hands are freezing. So that's that. Let's get on to the things I have piled up next to me. Oh, and also I'm going to put links down in the description. If anything tickles your fancy, then you can go down there and you'll be able to see what it is and where you can find it. So first of all, another wonderful winter essential is the eco fan. So eco fans take the heat from your stove, because they sit on top of your stove, turn it into kinetic energy that turns the fan, pushes the heat down the middle of your boat, rather than the heat having to go to the top of the boat, and then you heat it so hot that it gets down to the middle. It makes your fire more efficient, you use less fuel, your boat is warmer, everybody's happy. Next up, while we're on the topic of fires, we have my cast iron cook pot. So this one I pop on the top of the stove. If I fill it up with vegetables, leave it from lunchtime, by dinner time I have a lovely meal. You've probably seen a couple of my videos where I do cooking with my cast iron pot. I also have a cast iron kettle, and so that would definitely be one of my favourites. And I also have a stovetop kettle. I love kettles. I'm not going to show you them, you know what they look like. But yeah, I'd say cast iron kettle or stovetop kettle or both. While we're on the topic of hot water, flasks. So this is a hydro flask. I love these. This is the second one I bought. I lost the first one on a flight. We have about 5 or 6 flasks. So we use them to keep hot water once we've boiled it, because obviously it would be wasteful to just let it go cold. I like the hydro flask particularly for everyday use because it has such a nice big hole. And it's very ergonomic. It makes me feel happy to use it, and I think that's really important because when you live with a fire it's important to stay hydrated. Almost forgot this bad boy, my hot water bottle. So these are great. I have a bit of a nightmare story with hot water bottles where I always used to put boiling water in them. I didn't realise you're not supposed to do that, and then I'd put them on my lower back. And then when I lived in a house back then, one time one popped. I burnt my bum, my complete mattress was soaked, so it was an absolute pain, and I never used them again. I've still got a burn on my bum from where I did this, but I've had to learn to love them. We only put like hot water, not boiling water, in them now, and I don't sit with that much weight on them anymore, but they are fantastic in the winter, especially when your fire's still heating up, or if the canal's frozen, you need all the warmth you can get. And we sometimes will leave one out for our cat now. So if it is going to be cold during the day while we're not there to stoke the fire, we will leave one out for her. Next we have bellows, or bellows. I'm never quite sure how it's pronounced. These are just plain ones. My mum got them for me. So you use them to hoof up the air in the fire, and that helps the fire to ignite and stay lit, which is lovely. In my dream of dreams, what I really want to do is have bellows like this, and either have burnt or carved into them the Miss Narrowboat Adventure logo. Torches, a nice big whacking great torch is always good. This one is so powerful, and one of the reasons I really like it, especially if you're in a sort of a dodgy area, actually both of these do this. So they both do normal mode, and yes, strobe light. I also have one of these, which is a DC adapter. So it's basically a car charger, but I use it on my boat. So it goes from 12 volt to, it says 16 volt, which is what my partner uses for his Mac. And so this will charge his Mac when we're on the boat. Mine, unfortunately, doesn't have a car charger version. I also have a little 12-volt charger for my camera batteries, which is amazing, but that's in use right now. Thank you so much for watching. You can click subscribe if you want to join us again on this narrowboat adventure. You can look in the description for links to everything I mentioned today. You can jump on over to Facebook for this narrowboat adventure. I post the new videos there if you rather receive your videos that way. And I'd like to say a massive thank you to Jeff for being one of my patrons. You rule, Jeff. Thank you very much. And if you would like to, there's a link in the description for that too. Bye!